that there were a number of times when I had to either stop and sort of realize, okay, no, I've taken a big detour, or I've done too much research, and I'm just trying to throw in details now, and sort of pare back. I would get very enthusiastic and then have to pare back, and this happened over and over again. I remember at one point my agent was reading a chapter, and he emailed me and he said, this is starting to read like a walking tour of old New York. You've got them, you're basically giving street directions at this point. Why don't you just, sort of pull it back and pick out the telling detail here and there, and that'll be enough. That'll do it. And because I did start to realize I had to learn, a little does go a long way with that stuff. But also, the cast of characters just mushroomed. I would start to think, well, okay, so they need to get from here to there. Well, I'll just invent this guy, and this guy will. But the problem was that the guy then had to be accounted for later, or else he was just sort of like this stagehand who kind of came in and moved things around and then left. And it's like, okay, if you want a real character you're going to care about, obviously they have to be something more than the hand of the author. So I ended up in one of the later drafts taking like 2 or 3 characters who sort of had a half or a third of a life, and shoving them together so that they became one guy who was a fully formed character. And that happened a couple of times. And then at one point it was just like there were magical trinkets all over the place and spells and this and that. And it was, by the end, we were just sort of like just pulling, just weeding everything out that just wasn't necessary to bring it down to a manageable size, and have the ending be emotionally satisfying as well as sort of plot-wise and almost, accounting and management, so okay, everything's accounted for.